Welcome back to the Brode and Esther podcast.
Hello.
It's number 3, an edition of 3, whatever that means. I'm Stephen Brody Stevens, and you are listening in your truck, you are listening in your room, you are listening out at a pool party in southern Arizona where it's still 90 degrees. My name is Stephen Brody Stevens, and to my right is little Esther. Give her a nice hand, Esther.
Hello. Hello. This is episode 3, but episode 4 if you count the pilot.
Yeah, we'll count the pilot.
Yeah.
I think they
4th.
showed the pilot on Seinfeld. So we count the pilot, and people will go back and look at it and see what problems we had and look at us now and see the development that has happened over a weekly podcast that we've been doing. We've been staying with it. We're
Yes.
here. Brian Redban is helping us out. He's been here accommodating. Now we feel like we're at the point where we can bring other people in. We've established a foundation, Esther and I, of fundamentals of how to do a nice podcast. And now we feel comfortable enough to bring in a third party. And there may be issues and there may not be. But that's what this show is all about. Confronting your issues, getting positive, being honest. This is Los Angeles. This is the major leagues. If you have issues, you want to lose them pretty quick here because people are doing stuff. Again, my name is Brody. This is Esther, and I want to somehow talk to Esther. She's got Twix on her lap.
The dog snuck in and jumped on my lap, and I'm addicted to dogs, so I can't stop it.
You're addicted to dogs.
Yes.
What does that mean exactly?
I just really only want to be around dogs, and I just feel very comfortable with animals.
Like 24 hours? You want to be around them?
No, but I would like a lot of dog time. Like last night I had a dream that I rescued a dog from a poor family that was going to eat it.
Why would the poor family eat the dog? For just...
Because they were poor.
So I was like, was that a dream or was that a nightmare?
It was a dream that because I was the hero and I saved this big black poodle from this coincidentally black family that was going to eat it.
So you don't... Not an Asian family. That
No.
would be the hacky way to go.
Right.
You say African American family
Yes.
eating a black poodle.
Yeah.
And that was not a nightmare at all for you. That was just a dream. To me, that would be a nightmare.
Well, you know, it was, I don't know, it was like it was a hero story, coming of age story. Like I found my way by...
That's Brian laughing. That's Redban. Go ahead.
I achieved my goal and dream. That's to save animals. That's my true calling in life.
Do you have, is this a...
That's why I act.
Okay, is this a dream that happens frequently? Is it a reoccurring dream where you're saving dogs from being eaten?
No, last night where I was sleeping, I heard a dog crying, and I wasn't sure if it was real or if I was imagining it, but I think that inspired this dream.
Well, you live in an apartment, I believe, in a complex where dogs are allowed. So it may have been your neighbor, it may have been somebody across the hallway, it may have been somebody
True,
who's...
but in my imagination, it was a dog that was being tortured, and
So now you're saying it's being tortured.
I
Not
thought-
just eaten, but tortured.
no, in my dream, it was being, well, I guess it was tortured because it was living in a small environment, and the family was going to eat it. And
Is that
they were lying.
maybe a reaction to these Gaddafi photos? He's sleeping in the drainage, and they tortured him, and they found him.
I don't know about that stuff.
I mean, that's been all over the place, the
So
Gaddafi guy.
I actually missed that. They were torturing him? Or what happened?
Well, they shot the guy.
Right.
He shot in the head to finish him off, and then they dragged him out of the hole, and then they shot him in the arm, shot him in the leg. They took video pictures. Have you seen the photos? It's kind of graphic. It's all over the place.
Wow.
So I could see how that may get into your subconscious mind, and you take those Gaddafi images and put them towards a dog being eaten by an
Right.
African American family. I guess I can see the connection.
Right.
Do you think you're racist when you dream?
Let's
Esther?
not get into. I don't want to. I can't even. Why even go to that area?
No, I was just wondering because was there a reason why these people were black? Or
I'm not going to go into that. We'll stop that right there. I can't even deal with that. The only reason I said like black and black, technically speaking, if you're doing comedy, and we're not really doing comedy, we're talking, you want to keep the words to a minimum, and you don't want to repeat words. And I wasn't coming down hard on Esther. You know, black family, black poodle. Okay. Theoretically, comedically, you'd probably be like gray poodle, black family. You want to have different words.
Right.
Brian, we don't go into racism. There's nobody wins.
no, that was just a real question.
But not even a real question. We don't even want to go there. I can't allow that. I have certain people watching me, listening to me, and racism's too easy. Sex jokes are too easy. We don't do that here. I appreciate all your time. You're good. You're what you're offering.
Alcohol abuse jokes are too easy.
We can do those because those aren't that offensive.
Okay.
I think a racism joke, you're treading into.
Yeah, no, that's inappropriate.
Yeah, you don't need to
That's
go
not
there. It's just like
network
unnecessary.
friendly. You can't be racist on Jay Leno.
Exactly.
I wasn't being racist. I think saying it was racist is racist.
All right. Well, here's the deal. We have a guest here, and this was not a planned thing other than maybe just a day or two ago. I'm moving from the Valley to the Hollywood area for maybe 6 months to a year.
Into my apartment building.
Esther's apartment building, and it's kind of a probational thing for me. I lost my Valley card due to some unexpected episodes of mania about 2 months ago. So I had to get out of my apartment, not evicted, but moved out because what they saw, it was upsetting to see this strong guy who they recognize from the movies, who exercises out in the alley, swims in the pool, gets his mail on time, and they saw me being carted out on a stretcher with stirrups and arm. What do they call it when your arms are restraints?
Restraints, yeah.
And they said, Brody, we don't want to evict you because that's something that goes on your record, but we want you out of the apartment. And I understand.
You get your mail on time? Like, you get it every day?
No, that was just a joke.
Oh, because I was gonna say I never once a month, and it's the worst idea ever because I always like get one letter, like this electric bill. Like I should have got this electric bill,
Right.
like 3 weeks ago.
Why are you not getting your mail every day?
I just can't do it anymore. I just
Isn't it right out front of your place?
I walk by it every day, and it's just like 90% of it's junk mail, 90% of it's fake letters. Like
Yeah.
where it's like open up, important information you open up, and it's like we can refinance your loan.
Right.
I'm
I
just
like
done
those.
with it. I'm just I can't.
Can't you get rid of the junk mail somehow?
No, I don't know any way to do it.
Do other
Forward
people?
it to me. I like junk
Forward
mail.
you?
Well, you like junk mail.
I do.
Why do you like
I
junk mail?
dig junk mail out of the garbage in our building.
What?
Okay, that's a little strange, and
That
we
is
want to
weird.
go there later on, possibly about the digging in the garbage. You really dig in the garbage for junk mail?
It's a clean garbage. It's like more of a recycling thing.
I'm being honest. Let's be honest here,
Yes.
because it's what this show is based on: honesty.
There was a week ago. Okay, Burger King recently came out with the new frozen yogurt.
Right. They have a big campaign for it. Free
big
ice
campaign,
cream.
and they sent out these coupons for a free cone and $1 for a sundae. And a lot of people in my building didn't even look at those coupons and threw them out. And I dug through the trash and took them.
How did you dig through the trash? I've seen they have the recycling. They have the rubbish chute. Where did you decide to
not,
dig?
not the chute, but and by the mailboxes.
So that's not really digging in the trash. That's like,
Well, I reached my hand into a garbage can.
well, that's digging. Okay. And you wanted to get specifically these Burger King coupons for the
Yes.
Sunday?
Yeah.
Will you dig in? Let's say those weren't in there. Those did not get your attention. Will you just dig in randomly? Go, let
If
me
I
see
see
what I can
something
get.
on top that looks like I didn't get it, I'll look at it.
But don't you get all the junk mail that these other people
usually
get?
do, but there's sometimes I think I'm worried there might be something I don't get.
So what are you looking for? Subway sandwiches?
Coupons, pictures.
It's mostly coupon, isn't it? Pictures.
Pictures? You're
Pictures
like
of what?
looking for pictures? You're decorating your house?
Like for a vision board.
From coupons thrown in the trash.
Something you never know. One man's trash.
So you really dig in the trash. Do you put on gloves or do you wash after?
No. If it's needed, I'll wash after.
All right, let's hold that thought. We
Yeah.
have a guest here today, and this guy probably has not picked through trash, but there's a big movie about picking through trash, I think, down and out in Beverly Hills. A guy was digging through
yeah.
something. I think Nick Nolte was eating dog food, something of that, something like that. Well, this guy helped me move today. You find out who your true friends are when they decide to get an F-150 truck from their family, make that appointment, pick you up, and do some runs with, a spin bike, a trampoline, clothes. This guy did it. Let's give it up for Mr. Benji Aflalo. Let him hear it.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the applause.
Benji, thank you for helping me.
Easy.
It was easy.
Easy.
Have you, when I asked you to help me, was there any doubt in your mind that you would help me or not?
No, I knew I'd help you.
And was it harder than you expected?
No, it was what I expected. Just getting some stuff. We got your spin bike, as you mentioned, and a bunch of clothes.
Okay. And now Benji's a comedian. Benji travels all over the country. He's recently passed at the Comedy Store. He's doing well. He had go ahead, Esther.
He travels with Pauly Shore.
He travels with Pauly Shore. That's a memorable, exciting experience.
He has a Twitter account.
He has a
that
Twitter
works.
account. What else does he have? Email. You have email, Benji?
Yes, I do.
Benji actually has email as well. He is on top of his game.
New to Facebook?
He's new to Facebook. Are you new to Facebook?
I got on it late, but I think I've made the adjustments. I've made a lot of enemies though on Facebook.
Why have you made enemies?
I try to make jokes and people don't like them.
Now, how does that make you feel when you make a
I know
joke
what
and
he
people
did.
don't like them?
He faked someone's death.
I faked someone's death.
Oh, Yorsey.
I faked Yorsey's death and the people got upset.
Did you get a lot of? Is that what you wanted? That when you faked this guy's death on Twitter, you did, or
No, on
Facebook?
Facebook.
Okay. Who did you get the negative feedback from?
Mostly.
The deceased family?
No.
Mostly everyone who knows you.
Just mainly Comedy Store comics. A few of them were really upset with me, but most of them were like, "Yorsey's gonna kick your ass, man. He's from the streets. He's gonna kick your ass." But
Well,
Yorsey
he
didn't
is.
even
He is
care.
from the streets.
Yorsey and I get along great.
Is that why you did it? Did you check with him beforehand?
I thought it'd get him some attention. I was really just thought it'd be a fun way of getting Yorsey some attention. That's what I really wanted.
By saying he
died.
died.
And it was a serious post.
Yeah, I posted as if it was serious, and then I got Sandy, my friend who's also a comedian, to post after mine to make it seem even more real. But no one even got mad at Sandy. Everybody got mad at me.
What would they say to you?
PJ left me a message.
He's a
I saw the
comedian there.
voicemail. He was like, yeah, Yorsey's a friend of mine. My heart dropped. If you ever do that again, I'll kick you in the face. Stuff
PJ
like that.
looks like Dracula dipped in
Don
oil.
got really mad at me, but he gets silent, not talking.
Right.
Stuff.
What possessed you to do that? Talk about somebody's death. You thought it would be funny, good publicity for him?
Yorsey's the kind of comedian who sort of gets overlooked a lot. I think Yorsey's very funny, but he gets overlooked.
Yes,
so
he
I
does.
thought it'd be a funny way of getting him some attention.
Yorsey is a comedian that is at the Comedy Store. He goes up late at night. He doesn't act. He's got music type of stuff. So you thought it'd be good. What other things have you been? Do you get off on upsetting people?
No, I mean not in. I don't. Sometimes I do, but not when I don't intend to. If I intend to sort of I have a thing where if you're inherently an angry person or a jealous person, I think it's funny to see you get jealous or funny to see you get angry because you're already sort of that. So I'm not really adding to any sort of energy.
So you like to push people's buttons a little bit?
But I don't like it when I don't intend on it. With that Yorsey thing, I didn't really intend on wanting to make anybody seriously upset. I just thought it'd be a funny thing. So when I get people angry when I don't intend to, that actually bothers me a lot. But if I
That's what happened to me on Twitter. I was going nuts on Twitter. I came back from Montreal. I hosted TMZ. And I made Twitter be my own little reality, and people freaked out. And I was caught off guard, too. I didn't say anybody, died, but I said I had a gun. Well, I mean, what's worse, saying somebody died on Facebook or saying you have a gun on Twitter? What do you think, Brian?
Saying you had a gun.
Why?
Because then there's something you could do as a reader, like, oh my God, he has a gun.
A lot of people have
used
guns.
it yet.
A lot of people have guns.
Yeah, but you were like, I have a gun and I'm on top of a roof or something like that.
I don't think I said roof.
Oh.
I said I have a gun and I'm somewhere with this gun.
Yeah, see, if somebody's dead already, yeah, it's sad, but you can't really do anything unless you invent a time machine. With you, it was like I have a gun and I'm somewhere, and everyone's like, "Oh, shit."
Why is that scary? A lot of people have licensed guns to carry.
I think it was all the shit that led up to it. You know what I mean? Like you were doing all this craziness, and then you said you had a gun out of nowhere, which was very unlike
to back people off.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
back them off.
Yeah.
That's what I did. You're going to push this. You're going to step on stage. Now I have a gun. How do you feel now?
Right.
I never had a gun. Never thought about having a gun. Never homicidal. Never suicidal. Were you homicidal or suicidal when you put out those Yorsey tweets? Was that kind of like you seeing yourself as Yorsey?
No, sir.
You might want to talk into the mic.
I just thought it.
Can we not focus on the dog and
The
focus
dog's
on the mic?
focusing on me.
Okay. You're just feeling your positive energy.
I guess.
So, Benji, you and Esther are friends. You guys are both at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's been issues in the past, but
Yeah,
we
we've
work
had a lot
through
of
that.
issues.
We work through that.
Yeah.
You don't want to go. You don't want to add extra drama.
I'm not a drama guy. I'm drama free.
You're drama free.
I'm try to be.
Oh, yeah, that's not good enough. You can't try to be drama free. You
That's all you
have
can
to
do.
be.
You deal with comedians. They're all crazy. Audience members. You don't know what's gonna happen.
You're yelling-
Yoda doesn't try to be drama free. Yoda is drama.
There you go. It's not trying, Benji. It's not trying.
I
It's
can't
doing.
avoid the drama.
You
Sometimes the
can.
drama comes to me.
Avoid the drama, you must.
Because that's a very good impression. When you put out this energy, like words like crazy, drama, terrible, things like that, or horrible, that comes back to you. That comes back to you. If you use positive words, you're going to bring positive energy to you. You're already past the Comedy Store. You're from Beverly Hills, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Is that what's your persona on stage?
I kind of try to be some version of. I try to be myself. I mean, but in terms of my persona, yeah, people sort of say that I do the rich kid thing. I do talk about being from Beverly Hills and
Yeah, I've seen
having
you do it. It's funny.
a terrible trust fund, stuff like that.
We have a terrible trust fund.
I do.
What is that? They don't have much in there.
Well, I was supposed to have this trust fund where I had a free place to live, but then my parents took it away from me, and now things are complicated.
What did you do wrong for them to take it away from you?
Well, I used to share a duplex with my sister, but she at the time was having a lot of social problems. She started hanging out with my friends. I got no privacy, even though she had her own part of it. She was always coming in, hanging out with my friends. Then she started stooping one of my friends, and it got really awkward. And so
Okay,
I was just
awkward. There's
I
another
have to leave
bad
the
word.
duplex, so I had to leave that duplex.
Okay.
And then I sort of lost my right, and now it's hard. I couldn't get back in there. My parents won't let me back in the place I used to live.
Is your sister still living there?
No, now she lives in Israel, and she's a baby. She got
Any
pregnant.
adult could just get to live wherever they want if they work hard and make money and pay their rent.
That's what I'm working towards. I'm working towards supporting myself. I don't want to be relying on my parents.
And I'll say this, Benji, you really helped me today. You helped me with the truck. You helped me with the moving.
Thanks.
You showed me stuff that I wouldn't see at the Comedy Store. I see you do comedy. I see you hang out. To watch you move, to watch you help me move, showed me something today.
What's that?
You're a good guy. You work hard.
Thanks, man.
So you should. My name is Brody. You should be.
Did you guys have your shirts on or off when moving?
On.
I just want a visual.
What shirts we're on?
Okay.
We
What do
got
you
a
mean?
little schwitzy though. We got a little sweaty.
Yeah, we're working hard.
You don't drink enough water.
So Esther, when you moved, did you get help?
I did.
Who helped
And I've
you?
actually moved 3 times in the past 6 months, and I had the first time, oddly enough, someone that's been bullying me recently was the person to help me move. And
Has that bullying lessened since our?
yes, I haven't really been around. I've been busy, but I don't see it. I'm not really afraid of it anymore.
Okay, positive energy.
Positive energy.
Rise above it.
Rise above. It doesn't matter to me. And
I mean, you're doing stuff on TV now, also.
a little.
Yeah.
And then the second time I had my friend Carlos Herrera help me move, and then he helped me move again.
Is that how he ripped his jacket?
I don't think so.
Who's Carlos? He's a comedian. He's a guy from Texas, right?
He's like he's kind of like my personal assistant intern.
He's your personal.
He's a comedian.
Siri.
He works with Sam Tripoli, and she demoralizes him and uses him.
No, keep it positive. Keep it positive.
She's smiling. Look how
Wait, what's
positive
going
that
on? What
is.
did you say, Benji? Demoralizes?
No.
Look what she just said about him. He's a human being.
He's a personal assistant.
He's not.
Intern.
But he's not really an
He-
intern or a personal
But
assistant.
he is. He
He's
gets,
a guy who likes you, and you get him to do stuff for you.
Are you a corporation now, Esther?
I have an intern. I would pay him points.
Points. Is
So-
that like likes on Facebook?
Similar.
Is he good at helping you?
He is.
Then he wants to help you?
Yeah, I don't force him.
And is he looking for anything in return?
No, I just, just a friend.
So there you go. It's all positive.
Yeah.
Now, Benji, do you think it's funny? You have a big smile on your face. Do you think that it's
Yeah. I
why?
Think it's
you
funny.
think
Because she's calling him an intern. He's just some guy. He's not really your intern. So
But
yeah.
that's funny to say that
I'm smiling. I think it's funny. Yeah.
He wants to be my intern. We co-wrote a web series together about him being my assistant.
I feel Benji, do you have an assistant?
No, I support their relationship 100%.
It's not a relationship at all. I haven't even seen the guy in a month.
Right. He's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy. So Benji, you've done comedy all over the country.
Yeah.
And you went to college at University of Arizona.
For 3 years.
What did you study there?
I was all over the place.
Did you have a major?
I switched so many times. I went from theater to religious studies to business to.
Why?
Why'd I switch so much?
Yeah. You're at University of Arizona. It's a good school. It's reputable. A lot of kids from Southern California go
was-
out there.
A young man, and I just.
So was I. I
Make
went
up
to-
my mind. I don't know.
Well, I mean, what caused it to jump around?
I think I was just unhappy there. I don't think I really belonged there.
Why?
I went to like the easiest school I could get into. I could have gone. I belonged in a better school.
U of A's a good school.
Nah, not for a guy like me.
What do you mean?
It's all large Gentiles and sorority.
There's a lot of Jewish kids that go to Arizona.
Yeah, but they're douchebags.
The Jews that go there are
A
douchebags?
lot of douchebags.
Swear word alert! Swear word alert!
I can't say
They
that.
can say douchebag.
Okay.
So you're telling me
It's pretty douchey there. I made the most of it. I learned how to play guitar. I watched a lot of Mr. Show and listened to Bill Hicks a lot. It was a lot of downtime, but I did my best.
So you stuck it out for 3 years.
Yeah.
And that 4th year, you decided to go to school in New York.
Yeah, my 4th and 5th year of college, I went to a small liberal arts college in New York called Marymount Manhattan.
So give me an example, like, is this common for people to transfer after 3 years from University of Arizona, the Wildcats?
I went to Arizona with like 12 friends from LA, and
Right.
before the first semester ended, like half of them had dropped out, or they get cocaine problems there and drop out.
Because Nogales, you said.
Yeah, Nogales is close by. Because kids from LA were pretty spoiled, I guess, and they go to a place like Tucson, Arizona, which is hardcore nothingness.
Is it really? I don't know. I hear good things about Tucson.
I mean, I stay there for 3 years, and I still like it. I'd go back and stay
you
there.
just said hardcore nothingness.
Well, compared to
that
people who grew up in LA, it's like you move to Tucson, you get freaked out. You're this little spoiled Jewish kid from LA. You go in whatever.
Freaked out over what?
Over you're a little Jew and none of the large.
What's with the Jew? There's I get you. I bet you there's a small Jewish community in Arizona.
There is, but the most part, there's a lot of hot chicks who only want to sleep with guys wearing Hollister and frats who.
I get
I have a
that.
similar-
I
Look
get
like they're
that. I
prostitutes.
get that. Esther, what do you think about what
I
Benji's
have a
saying?
similar experience. I lived in, I grew up in Chicago, and then I went to college 2 hours south in Champaign, Urbana, in a cornfield, and I hated it. But I didn't drink.
What
or
did you hate
party.
about it?
I just didn't, I wasn't happy with. I didn't want to be there. My parents kind of forced me to go. I wanted to.
What college was this? University of Illinois?
Yeah.
How many years did you stay
I
there?
did 2.5 years.
And then
there.
you went where after that?
And then I dropped out, and moved to LA, School of Hard Knocks.
Did you
Nice.
think of, like, after you dropped out of college at University of Illinois, did you think of, okay, maybe I'll go to Chicago and do some improv, or
Yeah, well-
maybe go to New York? I think we touched on that a little bit
Yeah,
last
I grew
time.
up in high school. I did the teen program at Second City, and then when I was in school, I actually took the train to Chicago over the weekends and did IO classes. And then when I had finished the program, I was like, "This is crazy. I'm taking the train."
Crazy, another weird word.
You're right. Thank you.
You guys can't keep saying these words, crazy, horrible. When you say crazy and horrible and douchebag, you bring it on to you.
It's true.
I went to Arizona State. I didn't quit. I stayed.
Sun Devils?
Sun Devils, 5 years, got my degree. Yes, I was surrounded by Aryans. They didn't like Jews. They picked on me. In fact, when I went out there, I thought, because, I'm in college, nobody's going to pick on me anymore like they did 9th, 10th, and 11th grade at Reseda. And you go there, especially when you're playing on a baseball team, I had Jewish jokes at me all the time. And it bothered me. And didn't feel good about it. But I did meet some girls here and there. But for the most part, I was on the baseball team. And it wasn't completely satisfying. But I never thought of quitting. I always thought, stay the course. And I stayed the course. And I got the most out of Tempe and Phoenix, Arizona as I could. And now I go back as an adult, go back as somebody who's an alumni, also a former team. It's so much better now. I stayed the whole entire course. I could have quit because I played baseball. They try to weed guys out every year. You see new guys come in, they get weeded out. They kind of test you. And if you pass that test, you stay. And if you don't pass, you quit. And you never heard from me. I stayed. Who would have thought that a baseball player would be in Hangover 1 and 2 and Due Date? I did it because I stayed the course. Go ahead.
You stayed because you had fallen in, or you put yourself in position to be in this baseball thing. You were
Right.
you were busy with that. I feel that if I had something like that was a little bit competitive and that was like a big team, something to be a part of.
Sororities.
I had.
What about a
nothing.
sorority?
I rushed for a week for sorority, and then it was just really not my thing.
Why? The girls you didn't like?
Yeah,
It was petty?
Everyone was just, it was just not. I mean,
What about improv classes at Illinois? Did they have those?
I auditioned for every improv team on my campus and was turned away from every single one.
Why?
I don't know.
You weren't ready?
No,
You
I
weren't
mean,
comfortable?
I had been doing improvs throughout high school, and I did it. I still studied it when I was in college in Chicago, and I never really fit in and was never accepted by peers in school.
But
I had the same thing.
but that you're not, the fact that you're doing comedy now, both of you guys, that means you didn't fit in. But you got to kind of stay the course. You can't quit and be, not fully developed.
I still got my degree. I just
You did?
transferred.
You transferred after 3 years.
I'm a little Jewish comedian guy. I belong in New York. I don't belong in Tucson. That's just.
But
I
that's
have nothing against Tucson. I liked it and I grew.
But that's what's going to make you a stronger performer. That's what's going to make you a stronger person, not always spending your time in Beverly Hills and in Manhattan. You got to you did 3 years in Tucson. I would have said just stick it out. And so after 3 years, you stopped it just like that was it.
Couldn't do it, man.
I would have transferred to a school in Los Angeles or New York or Chicago. I couldn't afford it, though. I had a scholarship at Champaign, so I couldn't afford to go to school anywhere else.
Right. My phone's ringing, but I'm not going to pick
It's
that
called
up.
Champagne.
Yeah, or Champaign-Urbana.
Brian, were you in college, Redban?
Yeah, I just need to take like 3 math classes and then I'll have a degree.
Are you going to do that online?
No,
Why not?
because I'm way past any degree, you know.
And what your profession is, you don't need a degree.
I totally agree.
Do you feel like having a degree would give you some sense of an accomplishment? I mean, what you've done with this Death Squad network is probably worth more than any degree you have.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't have like I have too many friends back home that are like, I have a degree at an art college, I have a degree at this and that,
Yeah.
and I'm doing more successful than. Or
Same.
But having that
here.
degree is more for yourself, not necessarily
Well,
to
I'll
go, hey,
print-
I got my degree and show it in somebody's face. It's
I'll print one out and it'll look real.
You can make one.
Yeah.
Esther, how do you feel about that?
It's such a big deal to my mom because she could never afford to go to school, so it was such a big deal for her when I dropped out. And my dad really wanted me because my dad, Brian, is just like you. Like he has like 3 math classes left for his MBA, and he just quit and he never pursued it again. And I think it's so ridiculous. I love to learn. I just don't want someone to tell me what to learn and when to learn it.
Can I
Go ahead.
hate to interrupt you, Esther. Can I tell you something? I've never quit anything. Nothing. I've not quit.
To
Well,
me,
I did quit Chelsea lately. I forget to apologize. I quit that job.
And that was a big quit.
Do you want me to tell you what happened with that?
Yeah, I've never heard the full real story.
never
I've
heard
always
that
heard
either.
rumors and you know like
This is what happened with the Chelsea lately. Have I not spoken about that on this show?
Not really.
Maybe briefly touched on it. I was the audience warm up at the Chelsea Lately show for about 3 years. They had a couple other different audience warm up people that weren't giving them what they wanted. They wanted these people or the girl, whoever was doing warm up, really wasn't even a warm up. So they wanted a real warm up, and I had been doing audience warm up for essentially 1,500 shows at Fox Sports, Man Show, a bunch of pilots, Super Bowls, poker shows. And when I worked at Best Damn Sports Show, a lot of the crew members, they moved over to the Chelsea's show. So I would see them in passing, and then eventually I had time. They said, Brody, you want to come in and do some warm-up at Chelsea? I go, okay. So I went in there, and I saw what the show was, and I just gave it my energy, picked it up a notch. And then I just kept pushing on that energy, getting the chairs, getting bleachers, getting better plasma, getting better air conditioning, getting better music. I put all that energy into the show. And I enjoyed working there. It was fun. I got to have anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes on the mic before the show, play music, hip-hop, goof around. And basically what happened was I had a couple run-ins with how they would seat VIPs. When you seat a VIP at a show, they're usually friends with somebody on the show or they're related to somebody who works on the show, and they're not going to give full laughing energy. I'm too cool for school, essentially, is what you get. And I'd get like 4 to 5 of those too cool for schoolers every show. And they would complain that I was too mean to them. Like, they weren't enjoying their time there. But it was all, my thing was, don't seat them in the front. Put them where I can't see them. I'm trying to warm up an audience. Get 60 people to laugh, and you're essentially giving me a whole row of VIPs who aren't laughing. It affects the second row, third row, and whatever. So I get complaints about that, and you can't yell at the VIP. So that stopped. And then eventually, everything was fine, and Chelsea was doing the MTV Video Music Awards. She was hosting it. So that week we had to do extra shows because Chelsea's going to take some time off to work on the MTV thing. So we shot on a holiday. It was a weekend or a holiday, one or the other. And the offices were all empty. We were the only show working. There was other shows on the network that would share the building. They weren't there. So it was like a weekend. Everyone was relaxed. But I still got to warm up the audience. I still got to get that high energy. So I go into the studio, and the crew guys are goofing around with me. Not maliciously, but they're goofing around, trying to distract me. Security guards being too talkative, and it's like I'm trying to warm up the crowd and I can't, and it's a big crowd and it feels like a weekend, and it shouldn't be, but it does. So I went out in the hallway. I said, play the music, I'll be right back. I went out in the hallway, and one of the workers there who books the comedians, I go, you see what's going on in there? Like, driving me nuts. He goes, no, I'm out here. Oh, we're out here in the hallway working. I go, they're just like, I can't warm up the audience today. They're like in the way. He goes, what do you want me to do about it? I go, nothing, I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you that I'm having trouble warming up the audience today. So I went to the bathroom and I came back, and one of the other producers, the nuts and bolt guy, came up and he goes, Brody, what happened? I go, nothing. I said, the crew guys are goofing around today. Security guys are talking too much. I can't warm up the audience like I usually do. So I went in there, did the rest of the show. It was fine. We had 2 shows that day. We were doubling up. So between the shows, I'm in the back dressing room area. I'm talking to Joe Coy, and the producer guy comes up to me and goes, basically within a minute, goes, what you did back there was unprofessional. I go, unprofessional? I go, I've worked here 300 shows. I come out one time to vent or complain, and you're going to call it unprofessional? Okay, you can, but now I know where you stand. I'm all about the show. I wasn't doing any kind of like, you don't pay me enough, you don't feed me right, you don't put me on. Right. I'm trying to warm up the audience. I'm there every day. I can close my eyes and know what the levels are and what they should be. And they weren't there that day, and it was for guys goofing around. And so he goes, just go out there and warm up. I go, I'm more than just a warm up. Thank you. I do movies. Then he goes, oh, great, Brody. Now you got somebody else against you. He goes, somebody else against me? And so he's like playing these politics or whatever. And I go, I don't even have an office. I come there, warm up, and leave. Right. So now he's saying I got somebody else against me. So I go out there the second show, and I warm up the audience. The crew guys left me alone, and the security guys weren't a part of it. And the show started, and I stay with the audience during the show. I kind of turn a laugh into I turn a chuckle into a laugh into a harder laugh, and a harder laugh into an applause break. Push, 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 positive push, find the comedy, do it, go. And the show started. I just kind of tucked in behind the bleachers, and the show like tanked. Whitney Cummings was on it, Ben Glebe, Joe Coy, and it was like they had to struggle to get it going. And I wasn't helping. That was my little protest. Like this, you know what? Because I'm not just a warm-up. I'm also talent. You can't like yell at somebody when I'm putting my heart and my soul into the show creatively, and then for you to like get in my face. He like stepped to me. He physically like stepped to me in the dressing room. I won't say his name, but he was a producer there.
Is he still there?
Yeah. So that like, I mean, I'm never late. I do a great job, and he stepped to me.
Did you take it weird, do you think, maybe? Or do you think, did other people in the room go, yeah, what was that all about? You know? Or...
Well, yeah, the makeup girl was scared.
Oh, so he didn't just come in.
No, I mean, me being loud.
Oh, okay.
But he stepped to me. Like, as a man, you stepped to me. Sorry. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it wasn't physical. But I said, he goes, why don't you go tell your superior what's happening? I go, I don't have a superior, which I don't, and I didn't. And I don't know who it would be. So I go out there, warm up the audience for the second show. It's a different audience. And warmed them up fine, and then the show started. Just like kind of tanked. There was like no energy because I crossed my arms and I tucked in under the bleachers. I'm going to show you how important I am to your show. You know, it's like my energy matters, and I'm putting that energy out, and for you to like I know they appreciate it. They appreciated my job, but when push came to shove, you saw it. Like I vented a little bit, and they came down on me. This one guy, and then there's somebody else is against you. So the show ends, and I go upstairs, and basically, like the head guy, one guy said, "Don't worry about it. It was fine." But I knew the show wasn't that good. The show kind of tanked because I didn't put my energy on it. I put my energy on everything I do. But I couldn't do it that day because the guy got in my face, and I'm a human being, and I'm a man. Right. So I kind of just warmed up the audience, tucked in, like they do at The Daily Show, like they do at The Colbert Report.
So you didn't give 100%. You gave kind of like a 50% that day.
No, I gave 100% of warming up like I normally do. But once the show started, I gave...
Oh, you didn't do the stuff that you usually do, which is stand on the side and go like, come on, like, cheer.
Correct.
You know, like so you didn't continually do
yes,
that.
Because that's extra. Most guys don't do
That's extra. Like, I can close my eyes and know how good an audience is or what they need. And I decided I'm not going to... I'm going to make these comedians earn it. Mm-hmm. You know, this guy got in my face. He books all the comedians. Right. And so the show, bad, 3 segments, tanked basically. After the show, I go upstairs... And one of the producers goes, he didn't even like realize it. The show was fine. I go, it wasn't fine. I kind of tanked the show. And then the head guy comes in and just blasted me. Chelsea's pissed. I'm fucking pissed. You just caused the sound guy 3 extra hours to sweeten it up. Oh, this is the fucking worst. Remember, he's yelled at me a couple other times before, so there has been precedent of like me.
Oh, so you've clashed with this guy before?
Probably 2 times.
Okay.
But I'm a warm-up guy.
Right.
I'm just doing my job.
Now, was anything in your job description? Because I have seen, like Don Barris at Kimmel and a few other people, and they do not really do anything when the show's actually on,
Right.
like extra stuff. I mean, I guess Barris does do a little here and there, but is that part in your, is that a part of the job? Like, is it?
I made it a part of the job because some of these shows you would work on, like when I worked at Fox for Best Damn Sports Show, it was like a show from scratch.
Right.
So the way everything was set up and then the people around there, I had to kind of like push the show. I had to get the audience involved because these people were not technically or comedically savvy. So I took that audience at Best Damn Sports Show and really made it a part of the show. And I had to fight through stuff there too. Warm up, they say, last guy to be hired, first to be fired. That's what happens. So I fought, I did 1,200 shows at Best Damn, and I had my problems there too. But again, my problems for the most part there were based on the sound not being good. Like they're getting on the crowd for not laughing. They can't hear. The mics aren't on. The speakers aren't on.
Right.
So I constantly had run-ins with the speaker guys. And then that bled into run-ins with executive producers. But at the end of the day, I show up, I do my job, I care. But when you technically make it a certain way, it's like my hands are tied.
So the producer comes to you and says, hey, you did this and that and blah, blah, blah. Chelsea's mad. That night that when you crawled into bed, did Chelsea just not talk to you? Or did
Well, there
she
was
like
a
just
party.
turned over?
It was a holiday. We're not sleeping together.
Oh, I thought you guys were.
No. Come on, keep it.
No, you did not really think that.
Brian,
I thought-
please. No. I'm not with Chelsea. So she has a party that night, and I go to the party, and it's basically like, oh, Brody, I heard you. Chelsea said, oh, I heard you had a rough day. And I go, not really. I mean, I was kind of doing my job, and then had a little run-in with so-and-so, but I don't want to have it. It's your party. It's your weekend. She said, oh, we'll talk about it on Monday. And I go, I just didn't like the energy I was getting, the vibe. I just felt like a wave was crashing down on me. I was just going to get hammered by a big wave, and I felt I wasn't deserving of that. And I slept on it, talked to a couple people, and basically the next day I quit. I just quit because I had a feeling I was going to get fired.
Right.
Or reprimanded, and I didn't feel I deserved that.
Well, maybe you didn't. Maybe she's just going to come like, oh, don't worry about that shit. Shucks. Like what if it was nothing? And then.
Well, he said Chelsea was pissed.
See, I heard the opposite. I heard Chelsea wasn't, and she wanted you to stay there and everything.
Where did you hear that from?
I heard it from.
I never heard that.
I don't even know.
But nobody ever reached out to me.
If
Like
someone's trying to get to you, that's just a way of them trying to get you more angry. This person's pissed, and that you know what I mean?
yeah, well, it got me angry, and it was unnecessary. And I was looking. I'm not that I want to do warm up forever. I enjoyed it. I didn't hate doing it. I liked doing it, and she would put me on the show every so often. I was fine with it. The pay was fair. The job was fun. I got to be on the show once in a while. But I knew, for me professionally, it was probably best that I moved on. But I would have liked it to have been like, hey, Brody, well, we'll work. Let's do a half schedule, and I can train the guy, and we can do half and half. I would have liked that. But this ended such on a raw, exposed thing. And my thing is that not anybody there has said sorry or reached out to me. I feel I'm the low guy. You should take the high road.
Right.
I'm kind of like a low end guy. No cubicle, no benefits. I didn't go to the Australia shows. I'm like this guy. So
I heard Chewy's tried to reach out to you a couple times, but couldn't reach you.
Because he's short arms. Very good.
No.
But what do you think about that? What I've been saying here, Esther. I'll let you talk about that.
I think that it's so bad that people were in your face and treating you that way, because you're right. First of all, that's a tough job to do, and you put your more than 100%.
Yeah.
I'm sure whoever they have there now is not doing as good.
But
a
that's
job.
not the point.
Right.
But go ahead.
But and you're like you said, you're talent, and you shouldn't be treated. And nobody should be treated negatively. And I think that person has a problem, and they just kind of stepped on you in a way because they felt like they could, and that's not right.
I wasn't treated very well.
I see that I've been in similar situations, and like, you just wanted to get out and be done with it. And then there's also the positive that, maybe you felt like you were holding on to that job and it was keeping you from other bigger opportunities. So you kind of had to let that go, as though it was maybe a day job, and then now you're fully pursuing.
Right, but I still have these resentment issues that I'd like to work through. I just felt like I gave my, and also what I was in warming up the audience, and I step out, and it's like I'm having my energy. I'm warming up the audience. You can't expect me to be perfectly calm. Like, oh, Brody, you're up. Yeah, I'm warming up an audience of 120 people. I just stepped out of there. Of course, I'm a little ramped up.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't get that, and the other girl, the talent girl working there, kind of like snide to me. And then, yeah, after between shows, he goes, that was unprofessional. And it was like on a week, it was like a holiday. No one's around. It's like dead. And he just like got in my face. Unprofessional.
Yeah.
I go, you want to see unprofessional and see how necessary I am to this show? Watch.
These are people that did not treat you with respect, is what it sounds like.
Well,
You're-
but here's the thing. I never had problems with this guy in the past. Some of the people I have had like over little things, like yelling at the audience, but this Booker guy, I didn't have. He was on my side. It was just like that. I saw his true colors in that moment, and that's fine. I'm not telling him to change, but I'm a comedian or audience warmer that uses my real energy. So he messed with my energy.
Let's see what Siri from the iPhone
What are you
has
gonna
to say. Siri, do you think Brody did the right thing?
Yes, I did.
He
I'll tell you.
deserves to be treated with respect and did the right thing.
Thank you.
I only
See?
wish he took some vodka on the way out.
Oh, so Siri wishes that you took some vodka on the way
But
out.
see, she said you should be treated with respect, and that's what I said.
Okay, let's see what Benji has to say. But Benji, what do you think about like what I went through there?
I think you made a good point because I often feel like I'm in that situation where I'm at the low end of things. So when people get mad at me, I'm thinking like, I'm like a nobody. Why are you yelling at me? Why are you mad at? You know what I mean? So I understand that feeling. And also, it sounds just like a case of someone in the middle wanting to put the hammer down on someone who's
Yeah.
lower than them.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And I'm a
I know
good
that
guy.
feeling.
I'm a nice guy who cares about the show, puts
Yeah.
his energy in the show. This was about the show, and for him to go, that's unprofessional, and go talk to your superior. I go,
And it also sucks when, they might be a higher level or get paid more, or they're a manager, or they can boss around more people than you. But the fact of the matter is they know nothing about how to do your job.
Right,
Absolutely
right,
nothing.
totally.
They might know a lot about how to hire somebody, maybe because they know how to get what they want. But those people don't know anything about how to do your job. And you see it happen when you work in, like, even at the store sometimes. Like,
Comedy
there'll be,
store.
like, a
Comedy
brand
store.
new manager, and I used to work the door there. I used to be a door guy there. And they start, like, trying to tell you, like, they don't know how to do a job often as well as the guy. Even though you're just a guy getting paid $8 an hour, there's a good chance you know how to do your job better than the guy getting paid more than you do.
because they don't know how to do your job or whatever, they think it's nothing and it's easy.
Right.
And they don't have to respect it.
you know what it made me feel? If obviously I was hurt enough to where I quit after doing 400 shows, never being late, liked by everybody, doing a good job for the most part. Obviously, I was hurt. And for them not to reach out and say, Brody, sorry to end it this way, this and that.
Yeah.
I didn't get anything like that. I remember that. And that's man-to-man stuff that, yes, I'm holding on. Not too much, but to the point where when I have the opportunity to say names and slam, I probably will.
Now, do you think has Chelsea have any contact information for you, or have you ran into
No.
her or seen her out
No.
anywhere? Or
I saw her once at a party for like an MTV thing, and it was like, I didn't like see her in the same area.
I babysit for a family, and I make a lot of mistakes, and I'm really scared when I do. And every time I do, they're so respectful, and they're like,
You've like left the baby in the bathtub?
no, like just an example. Like I was running really late once, and they needed to leave, and they were like, "No, you did the right thing. You called." Like they're just always like point out. There's people out there that like will point out positive things, and they won't disrespect. Just you can work for people that won't disrespect you. You know.
Right.
And that was a guy that was in a bad mood or in a bad lifestyle and just disrespected you, and you couldn't take it. And I understand.
Well, yeah, it wasn't cool. It was bad. And I'm a guy, like I said, I give my heart and soul to what I'm doing. Obviously, I care about the show. I'm putting out energy. And then for them to say, it was unprofessional and got in my face when I'm talking about helping your show as a warm-up who's been there 400 shows. And it wasn't like I just started working. I'd been there for a while. And then to have this, like, no leverage, which I had none, no protection, and then get this wave on. And then on top of it, never, ever get, like, an email, sorry, it didn't work out, this and that. Nothing. I remember that. Now,
That's why you got out of there before they had the chance to fire you or make it even worse.
right,
But
I
if you
left.
got
Exercise
fired-
your own power.
If you were to get fired, wouldn't
own
you
free
have
will.
gotten unemployment checks instead?
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But,
One time, my dad, instead of quitting a job, got fired so he could get unemployment.
Yeah, you would have.
well, my thing was
I don't
not-
think you would have been fired because you have to get written up 3 times, right?
I don't
Is that
know.
the law?
No, that's like only if you work at like the Cheesecake Factory. Written up.
But that's something that I do does leave a bad taste in my mouth, and so if I ever get into a situation like that where I'm on one end or the other, I'm going to do my best to like have a clean break. But everyone goes, "Isn't that how all jobs in Hollywood are? They end bad." I guess.
Jobs in Hollywood usually just end. The show's over or the job's over. Don't you know?
Like it's never a clean break.
no, it can be a clean break.
Well, I hear most people go it isn't. So we've got that. Got Benji helping out. I'm trying to help with Benji. You got some good things going on. You showed me a lot by moving today. You carried stuff in.
I can
You were
slap
on time. You got your truck from your family. You weren't on your phone. You gave full energy. I want to help with your driving. What happened today? Something happened today that we all think about. We all have not nightmares about, but you definitely think about it when you're doing this. And it happened to Benji today. And it has nothing to do with taking a dump in your pants. It has nothing to do with saying the wrong thing. I'll let Benji, from this point on, tell you what happened. Here he is. Say hello to Benji.
It's pretty quick, but I was filling up on gas, and I pretty much drove away with the gas pump still in the gas
Oh,
tank, and I ripped it off the thing.
Are you serious? You
and
did
it's going
that?
to cost me $275.
Oh my god!
Ian Ziering was in the parking lot at Fairfax and Sunset.
From the Peach Pit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From 90210. So I'm just lost in thought about 90210 and Ian Ziering, and I'm like, I see him the most out of all the cast members. When will I see Luke Perry? Just lost in thought about 90210 cast members, and I didn't realize I'm in a car I'm not familiar with, and all of a sudden I drive 20 feet, and every mechanic and the dude who runs it, they're all like, oh my god, no, stop
Did you
it."
feel it snap off?
I
Did you
heard
hear
a
it?
noise, but it's like this big clunky truck, and I'm used to driving a little. I just didn't realize, and then all of a sudden I looked in my side mirror, and there was it was still in
So when
there.
you got out, how embarrassed were you?
I was really embarrassed. Like the first thing I see is some cute girl with her boyfriend, and they're just like looking at me.
Are they laughing?
They were smiling and feeling bad at the same time.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
was a
That's
real
worse than
nightmare.
a black family eating a black poodle, leaving the gas tank pump.
Now, did Ian Ziering see this?
No,
what
thank
happened?
God, he had
Good
already
call.
driven away. Good
Wait.
question. Yeah.
Now, Benji, let me ask another thing. You keep wiping your eyes, and you did that with your shirt. You say you have like an allergy thing with your eyes. I'm saying get some Kleenex and do that.
You're
Instead of
right.
using your shirt, the inside of your polo shirt,
You're right.
to clean off your eyes.
You're right.
You're in LA. It's about getting the gig. It's about being positive, spiritual, not doing things like that. Wiping. You have a karma. That's a karma bracelet.
This is a bracelet that was given to me by someone I work for. It's for a vodka line called V, or a new vodka that's made with acai.
Do you drink vodka?
I don't. I've never tasted alcohol.
Yes,
Oh, you really haven't?
Yes, you have.
I have accidentally tasted it once.
No, we made a whole video.
Did someone say vodka?
Yes, Siri. We made a whole video about.
Oh, and I spit it out though. I've never swallowed it.
Why don't you drink alcohol?
I just never wanted to.
No urge to like have a beer?
No, I grew up in a family that didn't drink at all, and I'd rather have like a donut than a drink.
What about like a glass of wine?
On my 21st birthday, my parents took me out to dinner, and the chef or whatever brought me like their finest organic wine, and I took one sip and spit it back out.
Why did you not like wine?
I just don't like the way it tastes, and I don't want to feel weird and.
But it's just
sick.
one glass. You wouldn't feel weird. And
I know,
sick.
but I didn't like the way it tastes, and
Most people like the taste of wine, I think.
Some
When you-
people don't.
Yeah, when I first started, I
grandma's
hated
like-
beer, I hated wine,
I
I
don't
hated
like
everything.
beer.
It took me a good couple months of drinking it, like forcing myself, like, all right, I have to like this. I have to be normal and have a beer. Now, did you ever try anything like pina coladas or any of the food
one
drinks?
time I
or-
ordered a pina colada virgin, and they gave it to me, and I tasted it, and I'm like, oh my god, this has way too much coconut in it, and I gave it to my friend, and he said it was alcohol. So I tasted it that way, but there's no point. I'd rather just have it without the alcohol and have it taste good.
Your problems will go away with alcohol, though.
No,
No,
I
they'll
mean,
get bigger.
Benji, you drink alcohol?
Yes.
You have a problem with it?
No, I drink though. I can't drink a lot. Like, a lot of drinks for me is like 3 drinks.
You get a little buzz on.
Yeah, but like, I'll have a beer often, but just like
I
one.
think it's okay to drink socially.
A little bit.
Forgot about those coconut waters in the freezer. Get you on that.
He's going to go get the coconut waters. I will not drink and drive. I don't like to put myself in that position here in Los Angeles in the 30-mile zone.
I got a
don't.
Dewey.
You did?
Well, it's not a DUI anymore, but...
What did you get?
It became a speed exhibition, or exhibition of speed.
So you're showing off.
I'm not showing off. We brought it up, and I'm willing to share.
Okay. No, what's exhibition of speed? You're showing off your speed. That's
I
playing a
guess.
word.
Exhibiting.
Okay, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'd only driven like half a block, and my friend was just driving my car, so I guess he didn't have the lights on. It's a Beamer. So
Was he drunk?
He may have been, but not as drunk as me.
Okay, so he was driving you.
And the dashboard is always lit up on like a new fancy car.
Uh-huh.
So I just started driving because I didn't realize he didn't have the lights on while he was driving.
Right.
And so I drove literally half a block and got pulled over. And
Now
went
you
to jail.
say you're kind of like your driving is not the best, whether you're
I'm a
sober
bad
or not.
driver.
Why are you a bad driver?
Don't use the word bad. Maybe.
No, but let's find out. Let's find out why.
No,
Where to go.
I think it's important that I admit it because I think I've denied it for a while and just bad stuff just keeps happening to me in my car and it's come to a point where I just have
So
to
is
admit
that
I'm
you?
not,
It's
I'm
you.
not good at it. Maybe I'm not bad.
Why are you not good at it?
I'm very in my head and I can just get lost in thought, sort of like today with a gas pump. I just like I'm really into my own head. And
Why
thinking
are
stuff.
you? Do you think that's healthy?
Yeah, I think it's healthy to think about things.
To
It's
be,
just-
but to be in your head to the point where you're driving off with a gas pump.
I mean, clearly
or
not. It's
get
not
into-
healthy if I can hurt
Get
myself.
into DUI.
I mean, no, but it's just who I am. I've always been sort of dreamy in my own head.
I just paid $2,500 to fix my catalytic converter and my muffler to pass my smog test.
You might as well just get a new car.
That's what I know.
So I want to get into this the bad driving. And
I have
the
bad
daydream.
eyes. I have really bad vision. My
Okay.
eyes
You're
are
a
always
dreamer.
watering. And I'm a dreamer. I
Okay.
daydream.
You're always dreaming.
Yeah. Like growing up, I would always like stop walking. Like I'm walking with the family, and then I'd be like 5. I just stop walking and just start. When I was little, I used to meditate. I didn't know I was meditating, but I just like every morning I used to get out of the shower and just sit down for like 15 minutes.
Do
and
you
just
think
stare
your
at nothing.
daydreaming is your wandering mind is helping or hurting your career?
I think it's just who I am. I actually once read something. I have a really bad eye condition. I have something called strabismus, which is pretty much a lazy eye. And I once read a whole study about how people with my eye condition tend to sort of like socially, you can be a little weird. And then I think that's part of the reason why I'm more
Do you wear glasses?
Because I think my vision growing up, so like while you guys were like 3 years old or 2 years old or 1 year old or 6 months, you were sort of developing a lot of visual understandings in that part of your brain. And I think I was just sort of up in my head thinking
Because
stuff.
your eyes wouldn't allow it.
Sort of, yeah.
Did you wear glasses as a child?
Started wearing glasses when I was 1.5.
And what do you wear now? Contacts?
Contacts and glasses.
A
at the
little
same time.
baby with glasses.
And and with those contacts and those glasses, does that help your vision?
Oh yeah, I mean I can see, but like my periph is really bad because if I used to have big thick eyeglasses, or if I have, it's like either way, my peripheral's bad. My depth perception's really bad. My eyes get watery.
Can
really
I ask
easily.
you, Benji, what's good with you? What's going good with you?
We're
right
discussing what's going good?
Now? Yeah.
I've been putting a lot of work into. I want to try to get representation. I've been in an acting class, and it's sort of I haven't acted in like 10 years, but I used to act.
You
my
booked a pilot with Bob Saget
when
you
I was young, when I was 17.
So you
yeah.
do have some history.
I do have some
17
history.
isn't that young.
Yeah, it is.
It's pretty young.
17?
I consider myself.
I think
that age.
19 is young. I think 20 is young. 21, you're an adult.
Well, either way, I haven't acted in like over 10 years, and I finally got the motivation to want to start doing.
What
it.
made you get away from it after you booked this pilot with Bob Saget? That would have like made me happy for a couple years.
I think coming up here in LA, I was just really disillusioned. I was just probably bratty. All my siblings would book stuff too.
What do you mean? Your
My
brothers
brother
and
was in
sisters?
commercials. Like my brother went on 3 auditions and booked 2 nationals. My
Right.
sister did national commercials, and
So
I
you
think I
had
was
to,
just disillusioned and didn't realize that it was a big deal.
to
to,
book
like,
a commercial?
Have good representation and book a pilot. Like I didn't realize. that
Well,
it was
you
a
know
big
what,
deal.
Benji? You'll get that if
I
you
think
put
so,
that
too.
energy out. I mean, I don't think like saying I need representation. I think you should like
Get good.
get good, work on your comedy, show your face at the clubs, be positive.
Be out positive.
Out
yeah,
positive.
Positive
I am.
energy.
I am.
You are, but I also hear some negative words like terrible, horrible. This guy. You had the problem with the
You're right. I'm not gonna argue with you.
You
I
said
think
you
you're
had
right.
some. You don't want to go to the improv anymore. I had to talk you back into going to the
Oh,
improv.
I love the improv.
Right. Well, they love you.
Everyone's so nice to me. Yeah.
No one's nice to me there.
Why?
Because they don't know me. I've been going there 6 years. It feels really bad when you've been going somewhere for 6 years, and I feel like I'm a comedian. I've toured the
You
country.
are. You're passive.
Well, I
Feels
go there
bad.
and I
You're
used
on
to
the
run
Brody
shows
Investment.
there. I used to make a money like,
Right.
and when I go there and I get treated like like a dude. Like I just get treated really. I almost cried one night there. And I'm a
actually
man,
cried.
and comedy's never. I cried the time I got passed at the store. I cried, but besides, I've never cried out of something bad happening, and I almost cried that night. It made me feel
Because
really bad.
some guy working there, new guy who didn't know you, was kind of a jerk towards you, or
It's just
Try
the whole
getting
thing.
bullied at a place that you feel to be your home club.
I've had that at my home club. I've had times at the store where I feel like nobody likes me and people hate me. I've had
Did you
that.
like it or not like it?
No, of course I didn't like it.
So
You know what?
then-
I recently.
But it makes you stronger.
Benji
Go
told
ahead,
me
Brian.
that.
Go ahead,
Benji
Brian.
told me this. He said that everyone at the club hates me, and I'm like, I know Benji as somebody that's really nice, positive energy, never see the negative parts of it. I'm like, that's crazy. Not everyone hates you. And so then that night, I went around to everyone's like, is it true that you guys all hate Benji? And I was like, ah, he's an asshole. Ah, he's a
See?
jerk. He's a
They think I'm rich and like I don't know anything.
But is that your character on stage, or is
A
that
little bit, but I'm not really rich. I don't. And either way, I
But you
think
do play up the Jew from Beverly Hills.
it all. A big part of the reason they're mad at me, another thing, is because a comedian there asked me for work on face. He
More
called
Facebook.
me,
Okay.
and then I went on Facebook and made a joke about it. But the
Okay.
thing is I get asked there like once a week. People be like, "Man, you're rich. Can I have money?" Or like, "Hey, I need a job. Can you?" And they're like,
That's
they're like
annoying.
alcohol. They're like drunk while they ask me this, and they're like, "Can your parents give me a job?" It's like and it happened so much that I got desensitized a little, and I tried to make a joke about it, and then all of a sudden I'm
What happened on
I'm an
Facebook?
a-hole.
I need to know.
A comedian asked me for a job
Okay.
via voicemail, which literally happens to me like once a week there. Maybe not as much anymore after this whole drama. And so I thought it was sort of funny, and so try it. It's really good. So I went on Facebook and I posted and tagged him. It's not like I'm trying to do something behind someone's back. I posted on his friend's Facebook, "Hey, so and so is trying to get a job for my parents. What do I do?"
Uh-huh.
Because I thought it'd be funny because his good friend loves making fun of him in
Right.
a very fun way. Two comics from Kansas City.
Okay.
And then it came out on Facebook. Then the guy I tagged who asked me for the job was like, "That's pretty terrible of you to not like return my voicemail and have to find out on Facebook." And so then one of the comics got into like a smack war with me on Facebook that I tried to avoid. And
Good.
then I said some things jokingly, mean things, but he
What?
wanted
Like
me.
he died or something?
It was Rick Ingram
I remember that day. You were in on that. You were fighting back
because I had to.
So
because-
you're in argument with Rick Ingram?
playfully. But
Playful
on
argument.
Facebook chat.
playfully,
Facebook.
but then another comedian at the store printed up the whole dialogue and passed it out at the store to make me look like a bad person. Look at the stuff he's saying. Well, really?
Diabetes.
How is your relationship with Rick Ingram?
Fine, we're fine. That's
he's
the thing.
great.
Yeah, we playful, and then someone else who resents me will then try to take something I do. It's just like the Yorsi thing when I faked someone's death. Yorsi didn't even care.
It seems like you're a prankster, and you're getting a
Facebook
lot of bad
prankster.
feedback from your pranks that you do.
I think it's that people resent me because they think I'm rich and they think I'm confident and that I don't deserve anything and they think I pay people like say
But
stuff
you
like
worked at the Comedy Store. You're
they'll
doing the open
be like,
mics.
"Oh, he buyed his way into the comedy store." Like, what are you talking about? Like, so I think that people have a lot of natural resentment towards me. So when they get the smallest little thing to pick on me for, say I'm a bad guy or I'm this, they jump on it.
But you've paid your dues in a sense going on the
Yeah.
road with Paulie.
Yeah, I've paid a lot of dues.
You've done a
here.
road gig up in Berkeley.
I've paid a lot of dues. Not that I think I deserve anything because I've paid dues, but I have.
Did you
paid
ever
dues.
think that maybe you're just in a bad crowd? You know, that's what
Absolutely.
when I was in junior high, my dad said, you know, you're changing. You got with the wrong crowd. And
Birds of a feather flock together.
yeah, you are who you hang out with.
Absolutely. That's why that helped me get through it because it's like, yeah, I can get really upset about all this, or I can say, hey, you know what? This is a gift. A bunch of losers are mad at me. Not to call anybody a loser, or a bunch of people who are eating away the time that I could be working on myself, or
Going to the improv.
going to another club,
Going to
working
the
on
ice house.
A lot of successful comedians go through a thing where they hang out at the Comedy Store and then they realize it's a dump where people want to hurt
I love
you,
the Comedy Store.
and then they leave.
I love the Comedy
it too,
Store.
but you know what? I don't hang out there because people are mean and they poke fun and they.
Well, it's a playground, and
Yeah.
just like any playground, there's gonna be fights on
It's a
playgrounds.
gym,
There's
and
gonna
it's a
be
bad
bullies on
crowd of
playgrounds,
kids, and I don't.
It can be a
I'm
bad
It
not-
crowd.
can be. It can be.
I love it though.
I like to be in more positive environments like the Improv or UCB.
Applebee's.
UCB is positive.
Yeah.
The improv is positive. The Comedy Store is like a hard gym. If you can handle yourself at the Comedy Store, it's going to make you a better comedian in the long run at an improv or an ice house.
I think that's true because the crowd is like a tough crowd at the Comedy Store. I don't think that's true though because the people there think they're better.
I think that gave me a lot of strength
mean.
having to deal with all the people. It's hard to. You have to be
Strength, I don't
when
think you
everybody's
need.
judging you and hating you. You better be funny. Like you have to be funny if all the people there don't want you to be. Like you have.
And why
to
do
be
they
funny.
don't want you to be? Just because they think you're that kid from Beverly Hills, or you did the death threat of
I think
your
it's
scene?
everyone.
It's a lot of things.
I think they're like that to everyone, though. I'm not a rich kid. And
Well, let's
they're
talk
like
about
to me.
positives. What do you have positive going on? What makes you feel good?
Acting.
I'm really happy with this acting class I'm in. It kind of, like I said, and I don't know if it's the class necessarily, but I acted like my whole childhood pretty much, and then I dropped it my entire 20s. So to start doing it again and feel like I'm good at it still and I can do it, like it feels good.
Do
So
you
I'm
have
happy about
friends that you made from college and University of Arizona as part of your like network?
Sure, yeah, I have friends from college still, yeah.
Could you go? Would you ever do shows in Tucson, or you just don't want to do it?
I would, yeah, sure. I'd like to, sure.
So Esther, what are you doing with the dog? I see you're connecting with Twix. You're having like a dog whisperer moment with the animal.
We were just, maybe gonna have a little kiss.
You want to kiss the dog.
She makes out with dogs, like tongue to tongue. She takes baths with dogs.
Okay, that's
She
one dog.
wipes dogs' butts on her
No, I
armpits
don't.
for deodorant.
He's being gross.
Let's not do that, Brian.
I took one bath with my dog.
No, that's not true.
That's not weird, is it? A bath with the dog?
Yeah.
No, she's naked with a dog, and she
No.
takes
Kinda
mini
gross.
baths.
I'll take Daisy into the shower.
Well, that's different. You're a man and a dog. You're sharing a private moment together. She's, with a dog in a bath and sharing the
It was
bath water
private.
with a dog.
I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's
But she
bad.
doesn't take showers. That's her bath. Her bath water is now dog.
But she
bath,
probably
basically.
rinses off with the shower. If you don't, you go straight from bath to the towel.
Yeah.
With the dog. So you and the
Not
dog
anymore. I don't
lose
have
the
the
dog.
I lost the dog.
But won't what do you mean you lost the dog?
Well, I gave the dog to my family. Remember?
So you would take a bath with the dog.
One time it was like a publicity
Okay,
stunt.
one time.
It wasn't one time.
Yes,
Let's
it
keep
was.
it nice. Let's keep it moving.
All right,
Positivity.
How do you guys feel about this coconut water? It's a new one.
It's good. It's it ranks up there to one of the better ones. And I
It's
still
good.
think C2O is my favorite though, and Amy and Brian's is pretty good too.
But I want to say, in general, the reason why I just thought it'd be good to have Benji here because he helped me out. I really needed somebody to lean on regarding my moving situation, and he helped me out a lot.
Are you completely moved now?
No,
Wow.
I'm
How much
probably-
stuff do you have?
He's
Are you a
got a lot of
hoarder?
stuff.
Are you a hoarder at all?
no.
You got to
I'm
sort
a
through it.
hoarder.
I think you should sort through all of that before you get even more stuff in there.
Yeah,
I'm a
sort it before you bring it
food-related
in.
hoarder.
I'm not a hoarder. No, it is sorted out. They're in Rubbermaid boxes. I have
What-
trash bags.
What kind of stuff do you have? Like, do you have a lot of like memorabilia?
Yeah,
or-
he does. He's got cool like baseball stuff, lots of bags of clothes, cool baseball cards.
I want to.
baseball cards I can give back to my sister.
I want to have a bumper sticker that says "Hoarding is sexy."
You would have that?
Yeah.
That's funny.
You don't hoard, do you?
She
Oh.
goes through the trash and hoards pictures of photos and coupons.
No, there's some crumbs in my bed. That's minor.
So Twix, she's not annoying you today?
No, I'm really into animals right now.
My energy's just a little scattered today. I'll be honest. I feel
What?
a little. I think we have Benji here. We have the dog in here. It's a little scattered. My confidence is not what it needs to be. How would you think the show is going right now, Brian?
I think it's good. It's gotten very deep this episode. The comedies part of it is not really that much here.
like
So-
that's bad. People want comedy.
Well, no, they just want it to be. They don't want to cry when they're at work. They want to.
Are there any crying moments here? Not today.
Well, you listen to Esther's hygiene. I kind of get sad.
Shut up.
No.
I'm just kidding. See, I was trying to.
Would you say the show's decent with what we've done
Yes,
today?
yes, it's very good. It's very positive. It's very energy. Siri seems to enjoy it.
I'm
too.
trying to, learn, bring the young people in, see the positivity. Like Benji was talking about, he had some problems like not being treated well at the improv. And I go, you just got to go and show your face. It's not about saying, I got to get an agent. If you put out the energy of being somewhere, showing your face, building your act, you'll get an agent. But to say, I got to get an agent, or I got to get on TV, or I need to book a movie, those aren't things you want to say. Obviously, you feel that. Who doesn't want to book a movie or book a TV show or have an agent that's working for him? That's almost a given.
I know something I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
Because Bradley Cooper. You've worked on with him.
Yeah,
in
he's my
two,
friend.
Two movies.
Coops.
Oh, he's a good friend.
Coops.
I've always liked Bradley Cooper a lot, and I just watched a movie the other day with him in it, and I loved it.
What movie?
It's called Limitless.
Yeah, I've taken the pill.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen this movie?
I watched it flying to Ireland.
I have not seen it.
It's a good movie.
Here, let's show a little bit of the preview behind you, just so that people can get on it, because it's really good. It's pretty much what it's about. It's about this pill that opens up your brain to a full 100% of using your brain. So you become clear-headed. You see things that you usually don't know and stuff like that. And
It's called Ritalin.
yeah, it's right behind you. Is the
See that guy? That's
right
me.
behind you, Brody.
My excuse for looking like this? I'm a writer.
I'm a writer.
Maybe
hot.
it's time to let the writing go.
But just in case you think nothing ever happened to me.
Eddie Mora.
Hey! Tell me about this book. Well, how much have you written of it?
Not one word.
Well, I suppose I can help you with that.
Oh my God.
You know
So
how
this
they
is
say
the
that
pill.
we can only access 20% of our brain? This lets you access all.
Writers are never.
Oh my God.
They've had clinical trials and it's FDA approved.
I just out of curiosity, and that's all.
Bradley, don't do it.
I was blind, but now I see.
Yes.
A tablet a day, and I was limitless. I now had cultural appetites.
Since when do you speak Italian?
I finished my book in 4 days.
Nice.
I'd like to renegotiate my advance.
Final draft.
Math became useful.
From 12,000 to 2.3 million in 10 days.
I'm baffled by this guy.
Baffled.
So, Eddie Mora, you do know you're a freak. What's your secret?
Medication.
Me too. Seroquel and Depakote.
That's right.
Your
Birth
powers are a
control.
gift from God or whoever the hell wrote
Look
your
at
life.
Bradley.
Slick, isn't
I'll
it?
open up a line of credit for you. You'll be wanting a few toys.
How many of us ever know what it is to become the perfect version of ourselves? What's the asking price?
12.5.
I'll take it.
Take it.
Everything I have, I
Not a
want
good
to
idea
share
to not
with you.
negotiate.
Oh, look at him cliff dive.
What you doing, hon? You think somebody's watching?
This is like Flowers for Algernon, except he starts off as Bradley
My
Cooper.
brain is skipping.
Yeah.
I have no memory of the last 4 days.
How it
It's
was,
like me.
How it was filmed was amazing.
Why do you mean that?
Just how that was directed, the special
Is
effects.
this a paid endorsement?
Yourself what you gonna do when you
No.
run out?
You want to meet Bradley?
When's he going to come on your podcast?
Benji, get out of here. Let's bring in Bradley.
All right, later.
I'm kidding.
So I recommend this movie. It's on iTunes. It's on DVD.
I saw the
Blu-ray and
movie.
stuff
It's
like that.
good. It
A lot of, Rogan didn't like the ending too much, and I heard
ending's
that
a
there-
little confusing.
I heard the ending. They had some problems writing or finishing it or something like that. I
There's
didn't
two
have-
endings.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
They're like an
DVD
alternate
version of it.
ending on the DVD.
I need to get the DVD.
I watched the movie. I was proud of Bradley's work. I was with him in New York when he was doing promotion on it, and he's a great guy. And we're very supportive, and we focus on things like that. Benji, have you been in a movie yet?
No.
I think you could be one day.
Thank you.
You know,
I'd like to be.
Esther's doing TV. You did the pilot. You're doing comedy. You're traveling around. You helped me move. You're from Beverly Hills. You have now your parents. You say they're Jewish conservative or they're
Jewish Republicans, yeah.
wow.
Very.
How rare is that?
There's not many. Most Jews are liberals.
Why have you asked them why they're so Republican?
I think
or-
it's mostly they're money oriented.
right.
They make money, so they want to keep their money.
They're not into the arts.
No.
Your mom and your mom too, right?
My mom is very not into the art. She just wants to manage property. My dad has some artistic interest, but not really. Like he has some cool art pieces and stuff, but
Aren't most people in the neighborhood where you grew up? They're very they're liberal.
yeah, I didn't have any Republican friends growing up.
So is it shocking sometimes when you have conversations with your parents when they're not, on the same page? Unless you're unless
I feel
you're
like the
conservative.
underlying message from them is they kind of think I'm a loser because I'm not successful and I don't make money.
But how are you not a loser? You're passed at the Comedy Store.
They don't
you
get
go on
that.
the road to Pauly Shore. You booked the pilot with Bob Saget when you were 17. You helped me move.
I think people who have been in LA, people who are in LA and they're like real estate people, they've just seen decades and decades of people with flighty dreams about wanting to be actors or comedians. They might get this and they might get that. And so to them, it's just all wishy-washy.
Yeah, I had that when I first moved out here. I was an assistant to this crazy just a really hot Beverly Hills mom, and she was like so against me being an actor and a comedian. She like always tried to talk me out of it, and she wanted to pay for my school and was really involved in me not doing that. So
Why was that? She was protecting you, or she didn't get it?
They
She
just-
didn't
people
want
They
it.
don't get it.
They think that everyone that wants to be an actor or performer just is like a fame seeker, and it didn't, I grew up performing. I played scout in To Kill a Mockingbird and a professional thing when I was a kid. I've been acting for a long time, and it's not just a lot of people just come out here because they're pretty and thin and
I always wanted. Who doesn't want to have a little bit of fame? It's kind of like a cool thing. A little bit. You don't want it where it's out of control. but a little bit of fame. But for comedy, to me, I kind of like backed into it. I never thought, I was a baseball player. I focused on baseball. That's what I did. I kind of like backed into comedy. You know, it's like when you do have people who, as a high schooler, I want to be a comedian. That's what I want to be. And they just absorb themselves with comedy. They're kind of just a reflection of a lot of different comedians I've seen. And that's not, to me, it's not, I'm not saying it's the wrong attitude, but when you're in high school, I want to be a stand-up. If you want to be a stand-up comedian when you're 17,
I think that's the best time to do it, though. I mean, because I started late. I started in Ohio, and I kind of did in Ohio, but when I moved out here to LA, I started really when I was like, you know, early 30s, and now I can't do doing the open mic thing. I did it a good, I don't know, 8 months straight.
But but here's the deal: you never want to do open mics in LA. It's desperation. Yeah. It's the final step, final stop for these people. If you're going to do open mics, do it in Austin, Texas. Do it in Seattle.
Chicago.
Do it in Chicago. Do it in New York. If you're coming to LA, to me, is the major leagues. Right. So if you're coming here to develop, it's probably not good. And if you're coming here to, it's like, this is, like I said, it's the big leagues. I feel like, you know, you back into comedy picks you. You don't pick comedy. It's kind of like, you know, you think I'm funny? Wow, okay. And then you work on that. And you know, that's probably why I struggle. Comedy's hard for me. You know, I go up there, I don't know how well I'm going to do. And I get stressed. But you have to believe in your jokes and believe I've done the work. But in terms of like wanting to be it, I never, you know, not until I was like after college, I said, I'm going to try this. But somebody put it in my ear, hey, Brody, you should do comedy. Oh, really? Maybe I'll try. I just never had that confidence.
I always wanted to do it, and I had a friend who's, ever since I was little, I loved stand-up and jokes. And I had a friend whose sister was doing bringer shows, and a bringer show is a show when all you have to do is bring people and you can perform at like improv or the comedy. Any great comedy club has bringer shows.
Right.
And so you don't realize as an audience member that this is just a show full of amateurs who would just get to perform because they brought people.
Yes.
And so my biggest motivating thing was going to a bringer show and seeing how terrible they were, and that was when I realized that.
Let's be positive.
No, it's true. It's okay. It's
well, I did a bringer show. You mean going as an audience?
I started off as
an audience.
Yeah, as an audience person.
You'd sit in the crowd and go, "These guys are no good."
And this is what happened. I was still in college in New York. I came to LA to visit. My friends, like, my sister's doing comedy. And I didn't know it was a bringer show. It was at the Improv.
Right.
And Adam Sandler was in the audience.
Right.
And I was like, is this what it's like in LA? Is Adam Sandler in the audience and everyone's terrible?
Could be, yeah.
Because if that's the case, I'll be.
Why was everybody terrible?
Because it's a bringer show. They don't know how to. They just start.
How do you know that there isn't somebody who's kind of funny? Just.
I mean, come on, man. 8 out of 10. I mean, I'm not saying you're bad. I started doing bringer shows.
I did a bringer show. I did one. I did one.
I did a lot of them.
I did a lot of them. Anyone to bring.
I know.
I'm from here, so
like I never had people that were like, "Hey, why would I want to see you on stage? I see you, you know, why would I come to your show?" Like it's just
like
gross. Yeah, it's just gross asking people to do that. I mean, now it's a little different because I could just throw it on Twitter and be like, "Hey, please come to my show."
But there are people who want to see you perform. Hey, tell me when you're performing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but not friends.
I didn't know. I was so blind. I thought guys who ran, no names, but I thought a guy who ran a bringer show at the Comedy Store was like the top of the comedy mountain. Like I thought that was it. I thought that was all there was. I didn't know.
I did the one bringer show. It was a decent. I felt like a comedian. I did well actually, and I felt like it was at the Comedy Store in like 1993, and I did it. I felt like a comedian. Wow. And then like 2 nights later, I went to an open mic like you're supposed to do out in the Valley, and it was like. Not good. Bad vibe, desperation, didn't like the people. And I knew right there that after one open mic in L.A., this is not the path I'm going to take.
Brody, how do you deal with conflict?
With
like
who?
on stage or you know, like what's your secret?
I yell.
You yell?
I just start yelling.
Let's compare it to how it was a couple years ago.
I like violence.
Here's how I deal with conflict. I get loud, I start sweating, my heart beats, and I become unprofessional. But conflict, generally speaking, out in public, I don't like it. I'll give you a honk of the horn, but I'm not going to. Sometimes I'll lay on it. If I see, you know, I can beat the guy up, I'll give you a hard honk. But if I see a tattoo and like a lowered vehicle, I'll wave. You cut me off, thank you.
Yes.
You know, I've done it on baseball fields. Some guy getting in the box, he's digging in, a little bit of an attitude. I'm not afraid to throw a baseball at your head. You understand me? When I'm on the mound, I'm not nice guy Brody. I've got the adrenaline. I've got the sweat.
Beard.
I've got the preparation put in. You want to get in there? I'm a big guy? Well, I'm big too.
Yep.
I'm Jewish. I got picked on.
You hear that?
And I got a lot of frustration.
Yep.
And you're going to show me up? Get in there, meat.
Get in
and
there.
That's how I pitched. And I struck out a lot of guys. Remember, I played baseball. And I get fired up out there. I struck people out. I'm just a Jewish guy. I'm a goofy
like
Jewish
Benji.
guy, but I struck out 17 in one game.
17.
Look that up.
Really?
I played for Arizona State, Barry Bonds,
Yep.
Reggie Jackson.
My beard looks great there.
Multi-millionaires. Well, I still live at home with a 41-year-old roommate from Philadelphia. But that was a choice. Sports matter. If you want to pop off, I don't care if you got a bat in my hand. I'll throw a baseball and you'll go down. You want to come at me? I'm wearing a cup. Kick me in my balls. You won't touch them because I'm got a cup. I'm invincible. I'm
like Bradley
from an
Cooper,
airplane with a
Limitless.
cup. You can go right through it's plastic, right through the metal detector. Ready to go for anything. With
Is that it?
Yeah. That was good. So what did you make those for?
Some silly thing that I kind of want to get off the internet.
Oh, really? Why? That
one's all right.
That was funny.
I guess that was all right. It's hard to look. Do you guys have problems like watching your comedy, Esther?
Yeah,
What bothers you about it?
I just don't like how I look and how I sound.
I think that's normal. Benji, what about you?
I just sound annoying. Sometimes I feel like I'm annoying.
Do you tape your sets when you're on stage? Audio tape them?
I do a lot of audio.
Do you listen to them?
Generally, when I'm in front of a great audience, I'll listen to my set and I'll be like, "Oh my god, I'm amazing!" But then I'll hear like a late night store set and I'll be like, "What am I doing?"
But are you listening for jokes? Are you listening for like new ad libs you come up with on these tapes?
If I'm doing new stuff, yeah.
Do you ad lib a lot in your act?
Yes.
So if you tape them, if you won't forget a lot of those ad libs, maybe these ad libs could be something that you could use over and over again.
Absolutely, yeah.
Esther, do you tape your sets?
I do.
And you listen to them?
Sometimes. I don't always listen to them.
It's
though.
hard. I have like this tape that I've been meaning to watch for like 2 months and I'm just scared to.
I've been working. I've been.
But I know I have to.
Really out of it with stand up the last month and a half. I've been focusing on other stuff, so I'm like, which is not good. But you're gonna have different interests at different times. But I'm focusing on something.
We're young kids.
Yeah.
Kind of just came in here winging it today. I want to. It's like I always just feel birds of a feather flock together, positive words. I was around Benji today, and I just, some of the driving, some of the negative words, some of the negative talk. Wasn't bad. Believe me, it's not bad. It's all fixable. I feel if you make some slight tweaks, show your face at the improv.
I will. I'll go back.
Carry around Kleenex and not use your shirt for wiping your eyes.
Yeah, my dad doesn't like that.
And slow down when you're driving. Slow down just a little bit.
So bad.
Why are you bad? I'm trying and I'm so bad.
I keep hitting things. I don't know what to do.
Maybe you have to go to driving school. Just go to driving school. Actually sign up for a class and go, I need help.
Do you think it's something like, you know how different races have different, like the Asians are always say the Asians are bad at driving. Do you think there's any truth to that at all?
Yeah.
No, you're being racist. It's a trap.
He's being a little racist.
Well, no, I'm just saying because I know that Esther, she's been in 17 car accidents.
I have not. My parents don't know that.
Esther, have you been in a lot of car accidents?
I've had 3 traffic violations.
For what? Tell us what they're for.
One, I ran through a red light. One, I ran through a stop sign. One, I turned left when it was right turn only, and then I think there might have been...
Turn left when it was right turn only.
Yeah, it was a right turn only, and then
That's dangerous.
I had one accident.
Why do you think these things are happening? Why are they happening?
Because
Brian, remember when I called you? I hit a car on the highway, and they were like, pull over, and then I pulled over, and then the lady was like yelling at me, and I got my car and left.
Yeah, and I told her that she needs to not do that because that's called hit and run, and that she should call the police.
I was so scared I was going to get arrested.
Esther, why do you think you're getting in these automobile
I'm not anymore. I've been clean.
Why were you?
I think I was just
texting.
I didn't get my driver's license until I turned 18, and I wasn't even allowed to drive, only to ballet class and back then. And so I didn't start driving until I moved to California, which was when I was 21.
Hey.
So I've only got this is when I had like a year's worth of experience as a driver.
But you're like going through red lights, you're hitting cars?
It was an accident.
Yeah. Well, I know it. Well, that's what they call it, an accident. Benji, what have your driving mishaps been?
Tons of moving violations. I've got that DUI I talked about.
Aren't you gonna lose your license?
I might. I hit stuff all the time.
Why? Is it your bad eyes?
It could be my eyes. Like I said.
Do you think it's your brain?
Out.
Like, are
I'm
you
spacey. I'm a spacey guy.
Do you think you can be on medication to be less spacey?
Probably, but
less Kevin Spacey.
I've tried Ritalin, but I don't like the way it makes me feel. I mean, I like it in certain ways.
Drugs aren't the answer.
Well, maybe it is with this case.
Maybe.
Brody, what violations have you had?
Recently, I got a speeding ticket by the CHP.
Oh, I had a speeding.
And
That's
other violations. One time they pulled me over because my car wasn't registered yet. I was waiting on a small report. But I've never hit a car. I've been rear-ended, and it felt great.
Zero speeding tickets for me.
Very good. What about any moving violations?
That's 'cause you drive that
moving violations that I can think of. Maybe there was one when I was 17.
So you're a good driver.
I'm German.
Oh, and I'm Jewish, and there's the
There we go. Well, we should probably wrap this up. We've been going
How long
for
have we
a
been
while.
going?
Looks like about an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, that's good. Good enough.
And
What do you think the feedback's going to be on this show?
Very positive energy. I think all the normal
Was there
stuff.
any Miranda? Were we Miranda? What's the word I'm looking?
Miranda on Sex and the City? Yeah, I was.
No,
I'm
what's
more
the
of a
word?
Miranda.
No, when you're meandering. Were we meandering at all?
No, I think it was great.
I felt pretty good about it.
I thought it was good.
Talk about positive energy. Benji, right here. You have any shows coming up, Benji?
I'm performing tonight at the Comedy Store.
Comedy Store. What a great opportunity. I'm there as well.
Can I plug my sister too?
That's kind of weird.
That's
go ahead.
I think against the law, but
Go ahead, plug your sister.
My sister has a store called Reformation. She kind of revamps vintage clothes. It's a green company. She has a boutique on 3rd and one in the Lower East Side. And
so it's basically a Goodwill. All right, Esther, I'm kidding.
No, it's nice. It's cool stuff. And she just signed a thing with Nike, and she's going to start refurbishing vintage Nike stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
The green company.
It's true. He told me about that.
The textile industry causes a lot of pollution and stuff. So
what's the store called again?
It's called Reformation. There's one on 3rd, and there's one in the Lower East Side
of New York.
Yeah.
Esther, do you have any shows or TV projects that we can see you on?
I just went in for ADR on New Girl yesterday and saw the episode.
What does ADR stand for? Additional Dialogue Recording.
Yes. And my episode airs December 6th.
You're allowed to announce it?
Yes.
Okay.
And I have a thing, my commercial.
You have a commercial?
Yeah, but it's not coming until Thanksgiving.
What commercial is it for?
The True Blood commercial.
True Blood? You're in True Blood?
No, it's just for. I'm in a.
What are you doing in the commercial?
I don't want. I can't.
All right, she can't say it. All right, so you can see Esther. My name is
I'm
Stephen.
on a show tonight.
What's that?
The show tonight.
What show?
Well, it doesn't really matter because it's sold out, but we have 2 sold out shows we're doing at the Ice House tonight.
Oh, I wish I was there.
Yeah, you should come.
Well,
Come by, say hi.
tonight, Stephen Brody Stevens will be at the Comedy Store at, I believe, 11 o'clock. And then I also have a spot tonight at the Laugh Factory right down the street at, I think, 11:40. So you can find me, Stephen Brody Stevens, on Sunset Boulevard tonight after 11 p.m. performing. You'll see Benji. Esther will be out in Pasadena, and Brian will be out in Pasadena. And we're just talking. We didn't really have anything planned here today other than just getting some good energy between these 2 young performers. I like seeing that. I was appreciative of Benji's help today. I'm always appreciative of Brian Redban for allowing me to do a podcast and be comfortable and gain your friendship and followers through Twitter and Facebook. I am a good person. I do understand what we're here to do, and I'm going to say thank you. Give it back to Redban. Brody Stevens, all things Brody.
All right, see you guys.